Thinking about divorce in Florida? Listen, the fastest way to lose your money, your rights, and your peace of mind is by making these 5 mistakes. Most men don't even realize they're doing them until it's too late. Today we're breaking down the top 5 mistakes men make during a Florida divorce. Mistakes that can cost you thousands, affect support, and even get your case reversed on appeal.
Mistake number 1. Treating marital funds like your personal piggy bank. Once a divorce starts, every dollar you touch is under a forensic microscope. The biggest trap men fall into is draining marital accounts for non-marital indulgences, vacations, gifts for a girlfriend, expensive hobbies, or raiding retirement funds, thinking nobody will notice. Florida courts call this dissipation, but legally it's about intentional misconduct. If you deplete marital assets for your own benefit, for purposes unrelated to the marriage, while the marriage is breaking down, the judge can classify that spent money as an asset fully distributed to you, meaning you've already spent your share of the settlement. The same rule applies to debts. If you rack up liabilities through sketchiness, specifically forgery or unauthorized signatures, Florida law mandates the court stick that entire debt on you.
Mistake number 2. Mixing separate money with marital money. If you had property or savings from before the marriage, or you inherited something, that's your non-marital property. But here's the trap. The second you mix that money with a joint account or use it for joint purchases, Florida law presumes you intended to gift half of it to your spouse. And overturning that presumption takes clear and convincing evidence. Translation, it's extremely hard. Even if the asset stays separate, if marital money or efforts made it grow in value, that increase becomes marital and gets divided. So if you want an asset to stay yours, keep it separate and be able to trace every step. Mistake number 3, voluntarily lowering your income. Some men think, if I quit my job or take a lower paying position, I'll pay less support. Florida courts see right through that. If you're unemployed or underemployed by choice, the court can impute income. Basically pretend you're earning what you're capable of earning, based on your work history in the job market. For alimony cases, the court also looks at whether your job change was in good faith. If you suddenly take a pay cut, rack up new debt, or start spending on renovations and gifts, but claim you can't afford support, yeah, the judge won't buy it. Mistake number 4, forgetting to bring in all the necessary parties. If an asset is owned by a business, a trust, or a family member, the court cannot divide or transfer that property unless that person or entity is formally added to the case. So if your company owns a piece of property and you want the judge to distribute it, that company must be joined as a party. If your name isn't on the title and the real owner isn't part of the case, the judge has zero jurisdiction over it. Miss this step, and you risk losing the asset or getting the whole thing reversed on appeal. Mistake number 5, relying on your prenup to waive temporary support, or failing to preserve errors. A lot of men think, my prenup says she gets nothing. But in Florida, you cannot waive temporary support or fees during the divorce process, even if your prenup says otherwise. Judges can still award temporary alimony or attorney's fees based on need and ability to pay. On the flip side, many prenups have prevailing party clauses, and those are enforceable, meaning the loser may have to pay the winner's fees when enforcing the agreement. And finally, a massive new one. If the final judgment is missing required factual findings, like for alimony or equitable distribution, you must file a motion for rehearing to preserve that issue. Since October 2023, failing to do this means you can't challenge it on appeal. This is a huge error lawyers see all the time. So there you have it, the top 5 mistakes men make during a Florida divorce. Avoid these, and you protect your money, your rights, and your future. If you're going through a Florida divorce right now, talk to an attorney who understands how these rules actually work.